Russia's Medvedev says any UK troop deployment to Ukraine would be a declaration of war. Reuters. A senior ally of President Vladimir Putin warned on Friday that Moscow would regard any move by Britain to deploy a military contingent to Ukraine as a declaration of war against Russia. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, now deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, made the comments in response to a visit by British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to Kyiv to announce an increase in military funding to help Ukraine purchase new military drones. Below are your comments. Putin also said that Russia's ouster from the SWIFT payment system would be a declaration of war. Big talk. Small people. British GDP is a bit higher than Russia, though with half the population, it's over twice per capita. Russia has 10 times the GDP of Ukraine. If it can't defeat them, what is it gonna do against Britain? I am against wars generally. However, it would be cheaper if NATO just went ahead and confronted the entire criminal syndicate aka the Putin's regime. This guy is interfering in elections all over the world, and getting other authoritarians elected. Please destroy him, and Russia will thank us. The little evil dwarf Medvedev trying to talk tough, what a joke. Russia has been hiring mercs and conscripts from at least 5 other countries, still can't win, and won. To make that statement, cold sweat smile rolling on the floor laughing cold sweat smile. Next news. U.S. imposes sanctions over transfer of North Korean ballistic missiles to Russia. Reuters. Washington. Reuters, the U.S. State Department on Thursday imposed sanctions on 3 Russian entities and 1 individual involved in the transfer and testing of North Korea's ballistic missiles for Russia's use against Ukraine, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said. The step comes 2 days after a joint statement by the United States and its partners condemned arms transfers between North Korea and Russia, including what it termed as Russia's procurement of North Korean ballistic missiles in. Below are your comments. Is there a list somewhere with all the sanctions we've imposed? To them, it's just a minor inconvenience. Good job, NK and Russia. Iran has had sanctions against them for how long? And have any of the sanctions done any good? No. Bet that caught their attention. I can feel them shaking in fear of Blinken and Biden from here. Good work. All the sanctions have done is drive them all closer together. Saying that we are going to impose sanctions sounds tough. But then if you consider that North Korea became a nuclear power after decades of sanctions, and Iran is on the verge of developing nuclear weapons after decades of sanctions, we come to realize that sanctions mean nothing. Next news. Zelensky offers to financially support DeSantis in retirement for U.S. support for UA retirees. The new voice of Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has offered to personally assist Florida governor and U.S. presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis, who complained that American taxpayers' money was going towards Pensions for Ukrainians, during press conference on Jan. Below are your comments. Most Americans don't have pensions, but essential working Americans are paying for pensions in Ukraine. How is this even allowed? What pensions is he talking about? Their salaries? Do they have a universal income for everyone? Retirement funds? We can't even feed and shelter our people. The problem isn't the cause. The problem is that we don't fund the resolution, we fund the stalemate. If we had a one-time bill that destroyed Russia and delivered the outcome, fine. But we do the same thing every time. We pay just enough to line the pockets of the politicians, come to a draw in th. How many Americans have pensions? Not IRA's IR 401 kiloseconds. Real pensions. Not many. It is quite ridiculous for a foreign government, completely and utterly reliant on U.S. funding, to lie. Why condescension on a presidential hopeful? The utter gall is fascinating to watch. Next news. Unprecedented inflation for basic foods has Russians queuing for eggs, Soviet style. The new voice of Ukraine. Russia dictator Vladimir Putin seems so keen on bringing back the Soviet Union that he's introduced something the failed state was best known for: long lines for basic goods. Below are your comments. How different that country would be with a prez who gets along with others, focuses on making his own country joyful and peaceful, and is a benefit to other nations. But do the people want that? Do they know that they want that? Using GDP per capita as an economic metric in Russia does not effectively reflect a person's level of prosperity. A more effective way to put it is that I can make 4 dozen eggs in 1 hour. This can be roughly converted to 600 rubles. Egg inflation, which has been at 100% since November, is a V. If those people really want the return of the USSR, I feel for any moderate Russian with an actual reign of their own. How frustrating having a leader steer you right back into the past. A sad one at that. What is 150 yards long and eats potatoes? A queue of Rusians waiting to buy meat. Next news. Western companies have exited Russia in droves. New companies with owners from China and former Soviet republics are stepping in. Business Insider. Nearly 10,000 foreign companies have exited Russia since it invaded Ukraine, per Vedomostik citing Park Interfax data. Below are your comments. There had to be reasons companies in next-door Belarus weren't outcompeting Western companies before the war. I'd imagine the Russian consumer will suffer quality-wise. Business will always follow profit. That is why China and India are really happy with EU sanctions. One man's folly is another man's opportunity. They can bleeple China for decades to come. The West should completely abandon them. Russia is the second largest exporter of military equipment? If that's true, why are they begging North Korea and Iran for weapons? Russia probably does make some money, or did make some money, exporting their military junk the counter-IEs that Western countries wouldn't sell to. They don't have much mil. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.